Good evening. This is my reflection on my lesson plan that I wrote for reading and writing fall by term one. I decided to do my lesson plan on Where the Wild Things Are. I think it's a fantastic children's book. My main focus was imagination and feelings that come from this book, come from Max, and I think it teaches some good lessons in there for the children they don't necessarily understand until you break it down. And so, my first activity, I decided to have the children write a response to when I feel wild, and then they get to tell a story about when they get to write a story about when they feel wild and what happens and the details. Kind of like how Max, when he feels wild and he goes into his imagination and creates things. So, I thought that would be a good connection for the children. For the remediation group, since writing can sometimes be difficult, I decided to do an activity for writing prompts, which helps break down for them what's important, what to include, your details, things like that, and how to put that all together to create one writing piece. For the extension group, I made, or the activity for the extension group is to make a flat book. So, some pretty cute things for that activity. The assessments that are for each one of those activities are based on the actual product, meaning what they wrote, how they wrote it, things like that. And there's an assessment based on that punctuation, spelling, grammar, content. Then for the second activity, we're going to do a story map with character sticks. So the children are going to create a story map and the character sticks of all the characters that are in the book. Then they're going to retell the story with the story map and the book characters. So it's a real fun way for kids to have fun, use their imagination. They get to interact. And what they don't know is that for me, I'm seeing how were they able to comprehend the story and if they could put things in order. So for the remediation group, sometimes sequencing can be difficult, figuring out when it happened, was something before or after. So with the sequencing, I found a great worksheet that helps a remediation group cut and paste the sequence of the story in order. It also has illustrations to help visually those who may be challenged, may have a challenge in reading all the words. So then they will paste those in sequence order of the book. Then um, for the remediation, or excuse me, for the extension group, they will do a game on Bamboozle, and it's a fun little game, and there's various questions that are across the board or across the screen, and they get to pick and choose, and they get certain points, and they earn points for things that they get correct. So it's a fun little game. So for them, it's a points thing, so they could earn maybe, I don't know, like a star for the week if the classroom is stars and how many you get, and so you get to pick something out of the prize box or something like that. Then, the assessments for that are based on, the ability of them sequencing and putting things in order. Do they comprehend the book? So, all in all, I think it's a great lesson plan. I feel like it's age appropriate for first grade. It's a fun book. They get to be creative and use their imagination and cut and paste and color and have fun with it. Um, some of the activities or some of the assessments are even fun in themselves, even though I'm grading, they're fun for them. They're not too much of a challenge, but challenging enough to where they have to think. And so I think that, like I said, overall, that I did a good job with the lesson. The learning objectives match up to the lesson plan activities, the activities and the assessments match up. I've included a great hook at the beginning. The kids get to play where the wild things are bingo. So it's something that gets them, their prior knowledge of the book that we've read already. It gets them going to remember the things that happen in the book. It's a fun game, and then there's a test at the end of it. There's self assessments throughout to make sure everybody's feeling okay. So I think overall that I did a good job on the lesson plan. Um, Improvements. I mean, you can always use improvements. Maybe an assessment at a different time or a different one would be better. Perhaps a different activity would be better, or perhaps, something else for the extension group. I tend to maybe overthink that and always think that, I'm putting too much work on them, but then I try to make it where it extends their thinking, but isn't too much work for them. So overall, I think I did a good job on my lesson plan and I hope you like it. Thank you.